cool is, alright, they did steal the tool that we're about to get in this game from another game. They said, oh, that looks good, yoink. But it is a really cool tool, all things considered.
Okay.
Alright, welcome back to Darksiders. In the last episode, we took down the final chosen, who was Silitha, the Spider Queen. So now we have the final heart, and we have to deliver it to Samael so that we can get our tower. But first, let's get some more collectibles, using the Abyssal Chain.
I don't know if it's just because we were watching Adventure Time, but you said Scylla the Spider Queen. Mm-hmm. And my brain went Marceline the Vampire Queen. And then I merged the two into, like,
Marceline the Spider Vampire?
Darksiders being, like, Adventure Time.
Oh, okay.
It was very weird. Very weird in my brain.
That would be an interesting painting. War in the Adventure Time art style?
Yes.
Be very interesting.
I feel like do you remember the episode where Finn wants to get armor?
Yes.
I feel like War would look like the other guy.
Okay.
That's like following Finn.
Uh-huh, okay. Oh, a shortcut. We're back on the other end of the Ashlands. I almost said the Abyssal Lands. I'm like, nope. Other end of the abyss. Alright, so yeah, I'm kind of dawdling right now. Samael's be like, he's not coming back for that fourth heart, is he? You know, that would be actually really funny if we made like an NPC who's kind of shady, and the longer you keep the thing from him, eventually he starts hunting you down. Just like, you give me back that fourth heart, you son of a bitch!
That would be really cool.
So, like, you can give it back and be like, ah, good. I was hoping you'd hold up your end of the bargain. But, like, you can stall, and the longer you take, the more pissed. He's like, someone's gonna get their throat slit when I find them.
I think that'd be really cool.
I'm gonna make a note of that. Just a little side note.
Over here, like, write that down, write that down.
Write that down, write that down.
And naturally, because we are sitting...
We have some company.
Boob is just like, my friends.
Hang on, I'm getting stuck here. My damn horse can't work on an incline.
Aww.
That is very common in video games. Even Tears of the Kingdom, as new as it is, with like all the technology we've had with like horseback combat and gameplay and stuff like that, it's still like, whoop, whoop. I can't go forth at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, I feel like that's a weird physics. Like,
yep, never works. And with all the climbing and like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it's just like, why am I taking a horse? I go across two planes, then it's just like, whoops.
I think I was playtesting for Quest Adventure.
Yeah.
With the horse.
Yeah, the horse wasn't easy to program there either.
And then I was just like, we're in the house. The horse is in the house.
Yeah, that's right.
And you were like, why is there a horse in the house? And I was like, I don't know.
It just let me.
The horse is in the house.
There's a horse in the hospital.
I didn't know it knew how to do that.
But yeah, I have it now in Quest Adventure to where if you enter certain buildings, it's just like, can't take your horse here.
Yeah.
Dismount. Dismount.
I know there are some games that it's just like if you go into the building while you're on the horse, like you go in, but your horse does not.
Yeah, that's more or less what I did with Quest Adventure. Because this, in games like Darksiders and most Zeldas, it's like certain terrain the horse can't enter, so it gets all startled and goes, whinnies. Which is interesting because Ruin, you'd think you could just summon anywhere. Because Ruin just appears from the flames beneath. But no, wide open spaces. That's what the magical horse can use. So we'll see. We'll see if it's the same in Darksiders 2 and 3 because
why not?
Spoilers, all the horsemen have a horse.
Yeah. Well, it makes me wonder, like, are all of them flaming like that one, or are they, like, different?
Death's is undead. I think it has, like, green fire, very similar to, like, how the
Yeah.
Lich... We're doing a lot of Adventure Time references here because we're continuing the series. We're in Season 6 of, I think, 9.
10.
10. Okay, Season 6 of 10. Ah, here we go. A Wrath Shard. Gimme, gimme. But yeah, I know nothing about
Yeah.
Darksiders 3. I know Darksiders 2 is apparently quite a bit longer than Darksiders 1.
Okay.
So Darksiders 2 is probably as long as you anticipated Darksiders 1 to be.
Okay.
Because we're nearing the end.
Yeah, because I know when you, like, gave me an estimate of how long Darksiders was going to be so that I could design the thumbnails. And when you gave me the number, I was like, really? Like, I feel like it would be a big game.
It's an ambitious game, but not a big game. I think it was just, like, laying the groundwork.
Yeah.
And then 2 really took it off. 2's a pretty long one. And again, I know nothing about 3. The only thing I know about 3 is Fury.
Yeah.
The female that uses a whip. She's the main character. That's all I know. Okay, I lied. It plays into the 7 deadly sins. They play a big role in 3 as well.
Okay.
Okay, now I know now that's everything I know.
I don't know how I feel about that.
The 7 deadly sins?
Yeah. I love the 7 deadly sins in media and things like that, but I don't know if I like the combination of the horsemen and the sins.
Well, I mean, angels, demons, why wouldn't it be the 7 deadly sins?
I don't know. I just feel like it takes away from the story of the horsemen.
I
Like,
think they're the
horsemen
villains.
have their own story, and then the sins have their own story. Like,
Gotcha. I'm pretty sure the sins are like the big bads of 3.
Okay.
Like, they're the one causing all the hullabaloo. Whereas, I can't quite tell you who the big bad of 1 is yet, because it's all about, who framed war.
Right.
And 2 is about Death trying to investigate how war got framed in the first place.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what's going on with that. And Lord knows what Strife is up to. He's the 4th horseman. He has yet to get his own game.
He's hanging out.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
I don't know. I still think, I know we've talked about it before, but I still think a game with the actual, like, 4 horsemen would be really cool.
Together? That's supposedly the final game. But who knows?
No, I meant like the actual war, famine,
I got you.
pestilence.
So if they actually use like famine and
Death,
pestilence,
yeah.
okay.
As
Instead
opposed
of
to,
Fury
like-
and Strife.
Because to me, Fury and Strife are just parts of
War.
War.
Yeah. Well, they're action games, so
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do.
But I just think it would be really cool. And I know we had talked about it, but it's just like, oh, well, how would you do famine? And it's like, I mean, make it so your character has to find food. You know, they have to.
I feel like famine would work with like a Pikmin setting. So the way Pikmin
Yeah.
works is you're on this unknown planet. Your oxygen tank can only last for 30 days, and you have a timer.
Yeah.
So time goes by, and you can't stay at night because the monsters get more hostile.
Right.
So you have to leave. And each day goes by, your oxygen tank is depleting.
Right.
Same goes, I forget what Pikmin 2's gimmick is, but Pikmin 3 is you're collecting fruit to keep yourself supplied with nutrients
Right.
as you continue your journey.
And I feel like that would be a really cool.
So it'd be more strategy based,
Yeah.
less action.
Which is fun because I'm terrible at strategy games, but
I'd like to try one of the strategy games on this channel. Like, I've heard the advanced war games are pretty fun. I watched Jamonius play them.
okay.
But Fire Emblem, I've enjoyed the few Fire Emblem games I've played.
I've heard really good things about Fire Emblem, but I'm just
The
really
one I have on the
bad at
GameCube is
strategy.
worth like $200. Yeah. All right, here we go. Samael, I've come for your final heart.
I was beginning to worry you might not live up to your end of the bargain. Give it to me.
You lied to me about the Chosen. They never guarded the tower.
What does it matter? Our deal wasn't for ancient history. I promised you the tower, and you shall have it. Did it amuse you to deny me what's rightfully mine? With my powers restored, I am like unto a god. I can suck the marrow from your bones before you drew another breath. I could. But I too have a code by which I do business. Besides, say what you will about balance and your ridiculous law. I recognize a quest for revenge when I see one. And revenge I respect. As for the details of my resignation, well, I do not approve of the company my master keeps.
Why did you challenge the Destroyer, Samael?
See your journey to its end, horseman. You will understand soon enough.
You trust him? Who knows where in the nine hells this portal will take us?
We will meet again.
So, spoilers. There's currently 3 games. They have yet to meet again. That is the last you see of Samael in this game.
Oh.
So, evidently, that's just something to be like, stay tuned for Darksiders 4.
I feel like somewhere out
War
there,
and
the
Samael.
the creators are like, fuck.
Apparently, he plays a role. I know he plays a role in 2, possibly 3, but I know that War is nowhere in 2, and I don't think he's in 3 either.
Okay.
Because 2 is all about trying to clear his name
Right.
while the whole trial is going down. So I think it's like a century goes by when his trial ends
Okay.
and War's sent back. So in that century, that's when Death's trying to be like, all right, what went wrong here?
Yeah.
And I have no idea what's going down in 3, but I'm pretty sure, again, War is still facing his trial. So the 3 games are kind of happening around the same time.
yeah.
Exactly. Just from different perspectives. All right, so we're here in the Black Tower.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, so what's interesting is the last dungeon, the Iron Canopy, went by relatively quickly. Kill some spiders, fight the boss.
Right.
This one I feel overstays its welcome. It's the ascending action to the climax.
Yeah.
This goes on for a while.
Heaven help me. The seventh seal was not broken.
What have you to fear from me, Angel of Death?
If you do not intend to kill me, then perhaps you will help me.
You've given me no reason to do either.
Listen to me. The gate must be shut. The tower must be cut off from the well. It is from the well that the Destroyer draws his power.
The Well of Souls.
Millions of souls, yes. Enslaved, twisted. A corrupt power to fuel the Destroyer's armies.
You are stewards of the underworld, watcher of the well. Not a single soul flows back into this world without you knowing. Unless, Gatekeeper, you opened the way.
The Destroyer sent the mightiest of his chosen against me. I fared no better than you did, Horseman. Against Straga.
Straga, you will take me to him.
You have my word.
Then tell me what I must do, Angel of Death.
Okay, Strago was that big-ass dude from the beginning of the game that kicked our ass.
Yeah.
So basically, we have to find a way to return power to this chamber to send us to Straga, where we will basically have our rematch.
Okay.
All right. So that was Azrael, the Angel of Death. Not to be confused with Death, Rider of the Apocalypse.
Right.
This is the Angel of Death. Alright, so this game has a lot of very tricky puzzles, so bear with me.
It is really cool design, though.
No, it's a really neat design. And what's cool is, alright, they did steal the tool that we're about to get in this game from another game. They said, oh, that looks good, yoink. But it is a really cool tool, all things considered.
Okay.
Whereas, like, the others are like Boomerang from Zelda, Hookshot, similar to Zelda and other games like that. This one's from a particular game that was popular around this time. I think it was released like 3 years prior.
Okay.
And the developers are just like, that's cool, yoink.
Yeah.
And
I mean, is it like the same design and everything, or?
it's really damn close. It is just wrong enough.
I was gonna say they would have to make it just wrong enough
Yeah.
to avoid any type of copyright issues.
I don't know how they did it because, like, that is the most flack that this game gets. It's just like, it takes a lot of inspiration from God of War, a lot of inspiration from Zelda, but it flat out, like, snags a concept from a game which I'll explain when I show you the tool.
Do I know the game?
Alright, are you familiar with the game Portal?
I think I know the concept,
Yeah,
but
it was a very popular game in the early 2000s that really brought forth a new spin to the puzzle
Okay.
genre.
Yeah, I've never played it, but I think I know the
played
idea.
the original at a friend's house. I've never beaten it, and I've never played the sequel. But, like, really cool. I highly recommend, like, checking out some footage, and who knows, maybe one day we'll play it ourselves, even though I'm not good at those kind of puzzles. So it'll be like, bear with me. You've seen me play a boy and his blob. I'm passable at some puzzles, and others I'm just like, Blubco, what are you up to?
I know.
I'm just like,
I like puzzles.
You do. Like, sometimes you'll watch me, like, play Tears of the Kingdom or just any game, and you'll just be like, what if you, like, Paper Mario the Origami King? You'll watch the puzzle, and I don't know if it's just, like, not holding the controller, or
There's
you're
something
just,
like I
take-
just
You just kind of take a step back, and you're just
Yeah.
like, you're looking at it wrong. Look at
Yeah.
it this way, and I'm just like, doy.
I just enjoy puzzles.
Okay.
I always have. Like, those were the games that I played growing up. Were, like, usually, like, Bejeweled. You know, like, puzzle games, matching games.
Okay. So in those moments, like, I'm going to bring up Link's Awakening, when sometimes you're just like, aha, I know what's going on, and other times you're just like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm just like, you got to grab the ball, and what? Hang on, I'm coming. Do you like those puzzles, or are you kind of like, eh?
I think it depends.
Depends on
like,
the puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it does depend on the puzzle. I'm not very good at puzzles that take time. Like,
I feel like that's all puzzles.
no, that's not what I mean. Like, puzzles that span over the course of a period of time. So it's
okay.
like how in Zelda, it's like you'll find a dog and give the dog to the owner, and the owner's like, thank you so much, here's an apple. And then you just have this random apple, and then, like, 3 towns over, there's a lady that's like, I'm so hungry.
Oh, fetch
And you
quest.
give her the apple, and she's like, thank you so much, here's this bag.
Right.
And then you just have a random bag. Like, I'm not good at that kind of puzzle.
Okay. Yeah, those are more fetch quests than actual puzzles.
Well, even like when you talk to people and you don't have anything, but you just remember, like, oh, there's a guy in that area that needs this. Like, I should go back and give it to him. I'm not very good at remembering.
I gotcha.
So I'm good at, like, figuring puzzles out, but I'm not good at remembering over the course of time.
Okay. Because Ys had a couple puzzles. It had, like, fight these fire creatures and
Yeah.
light the torches before the birds take out the remaining torches,
Yeah.
or something like that. And then there were block puzzles. Mostly with Donna, you had, like,
Yeah.
puzzles. With the exception of, like, that big block puzzle where you were like, well, this can just fuck right off. Did you enjoy
was
the
Donna.
majority of the puzzles in that game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That one, I think I was just frustrated because I couldn't tell the difference of what blocks could move and what blocks couldn't.
Okay.
And I know that there are tells with that, but sometimes I just can't see it.
Okay, I got you. But for the most part, the puzzles Ys threw at you were fond of.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we formed the bridge. Gonna swing around like we're Spider-Man. Spider War does whatever a Spider War does. Oh, there's probably a big old brute coming through here. I was fighting some wraiths earlier. Those were the spooky little spectral creatures that we were fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna fight some wraiths here, some demons obviously, and we're gonna see some golems.
Yay. Golem.
Golem. Or golem, because pronunciation works either way. Alright, let's get all stacked up. So once we get the tool, the main concept of this tower is going to open up. And the tool's down here.
I realized recently
Hang on, we got Crimson Angels. What'd you realize?
that I don't have like the Pittsburgh E's, but I
unfortunately do.
what?
I unfortunately do. I'm losing my voice.
I feel oh, it's because the air quality index is crap.
Okay.
I would say you don't always have the E's, but I do have like the accent with certain words,
Okay.
and I've realized that it drives me crazy. Like the word caramel.
Care to elaborate? Oh, okay.
I hate it when people call it caramel.
Caramel.
I'll have a caramel. Just fucking say caramel. Come on. And it's like, I know I am the one mispronouncing the word, because when you look at how it's spelled, it should be caramel. And I'm just like, I hate it. And I've tried to like adjust, like to say it correctly, and I'm just like,
Got the whole legion coming on down here.
sorry, that registered because you said golem and then golem. And I was like,
Well, I thought for sure it was Golem, and then we watched Adventure Time.
yeah.
Funny
And they
how
say
that
golem.
keeps coming up. And Jake goes, oh, big Golem. And I'm just like, well, that's John DiMaggio. He's a professional voice actor. He'd know pronunciation. Otherwise, the director would be like, no, it's Golem.
I
So,
think it's just,
again,
it's a dialect.
just-
Like, I
yeah,
think it really
exactly.
does just depend on where you're from.
Because I've seen movies where they're just like the Golem. And then I've seen movies and video games where it's just like Gollum.
Well, because Gollum is Lord of the Rings.
That's exactly
But-
what I associate it with.
But I guess if you think
'Cause
about
it's Gollum. Whereas Golem
Well,
is
his-
Golem.
his name, like his actual Hobbit name was Schmeagol, right?
Yes.
So, like, I guess it would make sense that he would be called Gollum if you think about, like, what a golem is.
It's reanimated clay, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like he's lost all of his personhood.
Okay.
But I also know that that's his name because that's the sound he makes.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's have a look at the tool of plagiarism. Shing. So yeah, it's basically the portal gun. It's just on his wrist, but it's the same color. It's called the Void Walker. But basically, you travel between 2 points. You create one portal for an entrance and the other portal for an exit.
Okay.
And that's what your puzzles are based upon. And that is literally all Portal is about. The same colors, the same, hey, make a spot here, make an entry point, make an exit point. And then it's just play around with the physics until you solve the puzzle. So yeah, that's basically this area. Is they saw Portal and they was just like, you know what, we can make it a level just like that. Yoink. And again, I don't know if it's the fact that like Portal was fresh at the time,
Yeah.
that more people were just like, that's in bad taste. But all the other things of inspiration, they're just like, oh, neat. They took inspiration from God of War, which is a decade old, or
Yeah.
Zelda, which is 2 decades old. But when you take from something that's like 2 years old, and also you've been in development for about 2 years, it's like, did you literally look and be like, neat, yoink?
Well, I wonder too if
Or
it
were they
was
made at the same time?
either the same time or like.
But one was released first.
I also wonder about the creative team
Okay.
because I know there's so much turnover when it comes to like a creative team. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was a shared idea.
Ah.
So if like
You think?
a person or a group of people working on both projects, you know, there very easily could be someone on this creative team that worked on Portal and was like, hey man, we did this game, like that would be cool to implement here.
And then someone on the team will be like, yeah, but how do we get away with it? Oh, we just changed it a little bit and we're fine.
I mean, is the only thing that they changed what it's called?
Yes. They changed the name. They changed, like, it's not a gun that you shoot. It's an amulet.
Yeah.
But basically, you shoot portals and you can travel
Yeah.
through them. And
So I'm
you
wondering-
can also, like,
I'm-
push things through them.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was like a creative team situation.
I'm just curious because it's just like, can you own the rights to a puzzle? Like, Zelda's not the only game with block puzzles.
Yeah.
It's the most infamous one when you think of, like, pushing blocks and stuff like that.
Well, and I think
But
that's
other
I think
games
that's the thing
push
is
blocks.
like, I mean, it's just like when someone tries to own a word
Okay.
or a phrase. Like there are certain phrases that can be copyright, but like, I think it was
It was like that stupid YouTube channel that wanted to own the rights to the word react.
yeah.
And the whole internet said, fuck you.
Yeah, and it's
they
just like
backpedaled.
and it's just like you can't own that.
Okay.
Like it's not ownable. And I feel like the same thing could go for
A concept.
yeah,
Okay.
an idea. Because if you think about it, everything is inspired or stems from another idea. Like the inspiration comes from something else. So it's just like you have to be able to adjust it to fit what you're doing.
Yeah. And I'm just curious, because I'm just curious where the line is between, like, imitation and plagiarism. Like, imitation is the finest form of flattery, and no, you flat out
stole it.
yoinked this idea. Because, like, some instances, I'm just like, oh, really? That's plagiarism. Whoops. And then others, I'm like, really? That's not plagiarism?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on, if you want my honest opinion, it depends on how much money you have.
Well, yeah.
How far can you take it?
Oh, crap.
Like,
How stingy do you want to be with it?
not how stingy do you want to be with it. It's like if somebody were to come at you and be like, hey, Fantasy Forever
Hey, you jerk.
was my idea.
Uh-huh.
Here's my proof. You could either, okay, my bad, and like forego the rights, or
it's called Final
if
Fantasy.
you have what?
It's called Final Fantasy. Fantasy Forever, Final Fantasy. That was the inspiration.
Okay.
But, no, I get what you're saying. Go on.
But if you have a ton of money, you could say, no, that's not your idea. That's my idea, and I'm going to fight for it.
Ah.
So, like,
Okay.
yeah, if you have the money to fight for those rights, then it could be like, oh, well, this was inspired by.
Okay.
Instead of, hey, they stole this idea. That's my honest opinion.
I got you. Leave me alone.
But I think also that line can be...
Blurred.
It can be blurred depending on the actual intention of the creators. So it's like, you know, you're heavily inspired by Zelda.
Yes.
So you don't have malicious intent when you're making your games and you use something that Zelda does.
Correct. Because Zelda is, like, hugely influential.
There you go. That's,
Okay.
to me, that could be the difference between inspired by and plagiarized.
Okay.
If you were like,
But that's also Nintendo's call of, like, hey, that's a little
Yeah.
close.
and
Whereas,
again,
so long
that
as you
would
don't use
be...
a literal character named Link in the
Right.
Triforce, they're usually like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so I think it is a very fine line that depends on a
Yeah.
lot of other factors.
And it depends on from creator to creator. Hey, we're going to continue this conversation in the next episode because I do want to bring up another point about people that think they own certain things because they work for the company. So we're going to bring that up in the next episode.
All right. Well, until then.
Toodles! I copyrighted your toodles.
I was about to be like, that felt weird.